24, the weatherman had us set down for. Knew it was going to get a lot hotter. And, well, there's still plenty of day to go yet. You never know how high it's going to go. Friday, February 21st, and believe me, absolutely elated to be joined by Jayne Denham coming out of Sydney, Australia. And believe me, you're going to love this right after these messages.
Galaxy 107fm.
All's good. How you feeling?
Great. Yeah, ready to rock.
Nice. You're not driving anywhere in the next, I don't know, 24 hours?
No.
Good.
No, got family reunion tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, you might need a stiff drink because you know what it's like working with Kiwis. Right?
I always like a stiff drink. So.
Yeah, exactly.
9 o'clock, I don't think I'll start now. I'll start with my coffee.
Hold on. Yeah, well, I got to drink coffee too, but who goes on ceremony? 9 o'clock. Hey, it's 4 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I wish I'd written that song.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. So, yeah, we'll go straight into Shake This Town. Then
Sure.
I will introduce you, ask you about the song at some stage through there. We'll sort of get a little feel for each other, see how we work out. But at the same time, I'll throw in a fan question in there, like how do we get hold of you, if you know what I mean, stuff like that.
Sounds good, yeah.
But you can give me a hard time anytime you want.
All right.
Don't mind it.
So have you got nicknames?
Have we got nicknames?
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing we can say on the air. Yeah, my wife has a pet name for me.
Well, I suppose.
It's accompanied with a hammer.
But Grant, I suppose we do call ourselves Beauty and the Beast on the
Beauty and the
Breakfast
Beast,
Show.
yeah.
Just
Well,
on the
that's just the breakfast show, isn't
yes,
it?
we do.
Yeah, exactly. I know which one's
Crazy
beautiful.
photos sometimes.
Thank you for joining us today at Galaxy 107fm, and believe me, you're going to absolutely love this today. You really, really are. Jayne Denham, we've been playing you for a little while now, is joining us live, coming out of Sydney, Australia, and believe me, love Jayne Denham.
She's in the Blue Mountains.
She's in the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
A few fires there sometimes.
Yeah, we were really lucky actually. We didn't have any this year, so we had some out west of Blue Mountains, but you know what the media's like. I think everybody thought the whole of the Blue Mountains had disappeared, but it's only out west.
Right. And so you shared the fires with the rest of Australia instead.
Yeah, well, I mean there were places that were wiped out, so I mean that's not as crazy as it sounds. Really, I still can't believe it's happened.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, our biggest concern, not only, I mean, we love to have a little bit of banter between each other as neighbourly countries, but we were more concerned about your wildlife, your heritage of your wildlife, you know what I mean, like the kangaroos, the koalas,
absolutely.
everything like that, because they can't defend themselves.
No, it was that. I think that side of it was probably the hardest thing to watch because they were so helpless, and people were just literally picking them up on the side of the road and just taking them places. It was. Exactly. They reckon millions of, billions of animals were just killed.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, absolutely. So let's go to the desk. Let's have some fun.
Okay.
And she does her hair, like everybody's going to see her later. Not on radio. Here we go. How's that? Let's move her around.
Good morning, Chris and Jimmy.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 7 after 11 o'clock, 27 degrees downtown. It's not bad for us for today, literally. Still plenty of day to go, actually. Friday, February 21st, and absolutely elated to be talking to Jayne Denham, coming out of Sydney, Australia. I don't know whether I should say this, but hello, Cobber.
Hello. Very good, I like that.
Nice to have you with us, and believe me, Jane, we have been a big favourite of yours for a long, long time now. And
Thank you.
I think it is about time that we absolutely get to be able to meet each other. Now, Jane, I got to let you know, doing the process here with Galaxy, it's not easy because, believe me, there's so many bands around the world that want to be promoted, want to be do all the little intricate bits as well as an interview, stuff like that. That Barbara is consistently working, literally. She gets about 30 bands a day. And so she takes that through to production. Production and Barbara sort of get on, disagree, you know, sort of, yeah, we got to whittle it down so that we can get at least one or two in every other day here at Galaxy. We need some time off as well. So, having said that, then it goes to a board of between 8 and 12 people, depending on the day, and they only have one thing in mind, and that's our image. Then it comes to me. Now, I have no idea, literally no idea who, what, when, or where. I just Bluetooth it straight into my stereo in my car, and believe me, I'm the only one in the car, because then I make the decision whether I want to do the interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah, wow.
Damn.
That's a big process.
Well, it is a big process, but I tell you what, the only other reason why I get in my car and do it is nobody else wants to drive with me. They're just not that game. They really aren't. So, when I heard your music now, for me, I recognised it pretty much straight away. I cheated. I could hear it because I played it so often that I knew. That got me excited. I couldn't wait to get back in the office and confirm that we were going to do this.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Well, believe me, I am absolutely, as I said, elated to meet you. I'm very humbled, by the way, that you would take the time out of your morning over there. Most times I'm talking to people, it's in their evening the day before, you know, or the day after, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
So it is so much of a pleasure to be able to meet you and discuss your music. Now, we kicked it off with Shake This Town. This is a very, very popular song here at Galaxy. Tell me a little bit about it, because it is one of the older tracks, isn't it?
Yeah, so Shake This Town is off the second album called Shake This Town. That was the title of the record. And I wrote it with a guy called Garth Porter, my producer, who was in Sherbet, and Colin Buchanan. And Garth Porter said to me, you know what, because live I'm very high energy, and so I'm all about, you know, kicking off the party and all that sort of thing. And so with that particular album, we wanted to write with Australian, you know, an Australian flavour in there, so like towns and names and all that sort of thing, Australian towns. But yeah, he just said, let's do a song about partying, and I said, oh, how about Shake This Town? And he was like, I love it. And so then we rewrote it and we did the video. The video is probably one of my favourite videos we've ever done, actually, because it really captures the Australian outback and stuff like that, which is, you know, what that album was all about. So, yeah, so that video got top 5 on the Country Music Channel. So yeah, I think, I mean, one of those things, videos always do well if the song's good. So, but it's probably one of my most popular songs.
You know, I got to agree with you. Believe me, people here have absolutely identified with not only your style of music, we love that style, but your music as a whole, the lyrics, the music put behind it, the whole composition. Now, I've got to let you know that I've been an engineer for a good number of years now, and as a DJ and as an engineer now, not only a studio engineer, but a front of house as well. I've worked with some very, very famous bands in the time, including going around the world with a very famous Australian band with 4 letters. Not going to tell you who. But it starts within. It starts within.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Literally, I spent, we went around 36 months, and then it came to a sudden halt. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
I was one of their senior engineers for that. So, believe me, I don't listen to your music as a fan would listen to it. I listen to it as an engineer or a radio announcer would listen to it, and really, I can't fault this work. I really, really can't.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, Garth Porter's an amazing producer and Ted Howard engineered it, and yeah, that means a lot. I think I should interview you. You sound like you've got a good story.
One of these days, I'll let you do that. Actually, I don't mind. Actually, people, you just don't want to. Yeah, well, if you're up for comedy, I'm up for anything. Because believe me, I don't think people laugh enough in this world. I really, really don't. And so, as we go through this interview, I'm going to ask you a few questions, maybe the 5 questions from the 50 Shades of Grant. What do you reckon?
A few things.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We'll do that actually a little later on. But first of all, I'm being told in my ear, 62 countries, 94 cities hooked in right now, listening to us all around the world. We're doing this global for you, my friend. And
That's awesome.
they all want to know, Jayne, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? I know you're on Instagram.
Yes,
Literally.
I'm a bit of an Instagram girl. I am on all of the social medias, but I'm a bit more proactive on Instagram. And I have a website as well, www.jaynedenham.com. So Jayne spelled with a Y.
Absolutely.
So people know how to spell Jayne.
Exactly. Now, at the same time, I got to ask you, with all of this new media going on, and basically these are your modern day database for your fans these days.
Yes.
Do you respond?
I try to as much as I can. I'm not very good at Twitter, I have to be honest. But definitely Facebook and Instagram. I try to do it as much as possible. But I have to say, I was a bit slow on the uptake because I wasn't very good at it. And so when I started my Facebook page many, many, many years ago, Jayne Denham was a Swedish male. And my friend was Swedish, and he's like, Jayne, you've got to have one. I'm like, nah. And he's like, I'll do it. And then I think it got 6 months in, and he said, nah. He said, everyone's talking to me and asking me questions, and I'm not the one doing the gigs that they're going to, so I had to take over.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah. Well, we're all with the program now. It took me a while.
Exactly.
I think that was about 8 years ago. So.
Well, Jayne Denham is one part rock, one part country. This is renegade country. It really is. How did you come to this?
I guess my third album, Renegade. I remember someone saying to me once, "Oh, I'm a little bit renegade in what I do," and she was talking about her career. She doesn't do it the way everybody does it, and so I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm a little bit like that," because when I started, there was no girls in Australia doing country rock, and I was like on that edge, and everyone's like, "Whoa, this is really rocky." And I mean, I was inspired by people like Gretchen Wilson in America, and a lot of the guys in America were doing it. There wasn't so many girls. So I just sort of thought, that's kind of where my style landed. And being, I grew up on country music, but then I joined a band when I was at high school and did rock covers for a long time. But then when I started writing songs, it sort of came out with both. So it had a country kind of vibe to it, but it also had rock, that rock tone. So that's why we came up with the, renegade country.
I absolutely love it. When I talk to a lot of Americans that have sort of the same kind of flavour of music as yours, they call it Americana over there. And so I called your kind of music before I spoke to you Aussiana.
I like it.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
So believe me, I think it is renegade Aussiana.
I like that. There you go. You can start a new style of music.
Loving it. Now, at the same time, when I very first met you just a couple of minutes ago, I commented that you had diesel in your blood. Now, tell me your life history. Believe me, your father was a truckie, wasn't he?
So it wasn't actually my dad. It was my uncles and my other members of my family who had trucks, and they had a company. And so when I was young, I used to go in the trucks and go for rides. And yeah, that was where my love of trucking came from. But yeah, then I just started writing songs about trucking songs about girls that drove trucks. Actually, was my very first song. And yeah, the rest is history. And now I get to travel to America quite a few times a year to perform at truck shows in the States. And just did my last video clip in Alaska with the Ice Road Truckers, which was a huge honour.
Yes, and I want to talk to you about Lisa Kelly and all of those guys a little later on as we go down to a little bit of black coffee and white lines. We will get there. We really, really will. But first of all, tell me about Trucker Chicks.
So, the first song I ever wrote was called Cousin Jude, about a girl who drove a truck. And I put it on the first record and it blew up. Like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, there's this Australian chick who's singing trucking songs, and all the girls were like, go Jayne. And so then when I did Shake This Town album, Garth Porter said to me, you need to keep writing trucking songs, and all my fans were saying, keep writing trucking songs. So it was kind of a no-brainer to write a song specifically for girls who drove trucks, and that's where Trucker Chicks came from. Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. No horses involved unless you're putting the foot down. Here's Jayne Denham, Trucker Chicks. Oh, look.
Hi, Steve Baker. Meet Jayne. You might like to do business.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. How are you feeling, Jayne?
Great.
Nice. I'll let you know that everything we do here we'll give you a copy of, literally, and we'll do some crazy photos afterwards. Also a video. Now, it's only a couple of words on a video, but believe me, people go, with the amount of people that go through our
Get in
website.
contact with
That's amazing. You've got a great following.
Well, you know, sometimes, Jayne, I feel very oogled. You know what I mean? They go and look at everything on my website. But we'll do a shout out, and we'll put a shout out on the website, because people go and look, then they go and research who Jayne Denham is, and before you know it, you got another 5,000 Facebook fans, and I'm not going to apologise. They're all for you.
Can I come on your show every day?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
You know, Jayne, I think you're cooler than the other side of the pillow, actually.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, the next one up is, of course, grew up around trucks. Now, we spoke very, very briefly about getting you to come over to New Zealand, so I'm going to ask you to do something like that. Consider it at least. We would love to be able to do something with you over here. Barbara is the manager of Aurora Entertainments, which brings bands into the country, does all the logistics, stuff like that. So we capably can take care of it. You know?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh,
So,
Because I know over the years I do have quite a big following in New Zealand, and even when I get my data and stuff from my record label, you know, there's quite a it's good. It's been slowly building over the years, so
nice.
It's been one of those things where I'd love to go to New Zealand one day, but the timing's always of the essence. So I guess when it's good for everything, but yeah, I'd love to.
Nice. Well, we'll go down that road, but at the same time, I got to warn you, you already know, we're crazy.
Southern Halo
You know,
would go well.
yeah, exactly. That's why we love each other so much. But we'll go down the road where I'm going to ask you a few interesting questions, and mostly related to parts of New Zealand, like the Hobbiton, for instance, Lord of the Rings, stuff like that.
To be honest, I'm not much of a movie buff. So.
No, it's okay. You've heard of Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes, I have.
Right, we take...
I have to be honest, I haven't. I don't think I've watched them all, so...
Okay, well, you're going to love this.
Okay.
22 after 11 o'clock or 22 after 9 o'clock if you're in Sydney. It is 26.2 degrees, 26 degrees downtown. Starting to go down a little bit, but it usually does just before it peaks right out. And I'm saying maybe 30 degrees today. You never know. It is Friday, coming into the weekend, TGIF. It is February the 21st, and I'm absolutely elated to be joined by Jayne Denham, coming out of Sydney, Australia. Now, you're out in the Blue Mountains kind of way, aren't you?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Right. I used to play for Manly
Did you?
back in the day.
Oh, well, there you go. I told you I need to interview you.
Yeah. Believe me, I was in the C team, you know, the one that can't find the ball, can't find the field, can't find a coach.
Oh, yeah, I was a bit like that with my cricket game.
Well, apparently my most favourite position was left, right out. Right out, yeah. Water boy. Yeah, I got that a couple of times too, actually. But yeah, so I used to stay in Manly and played for the local team over there. And, well, you know, gave it a go.
Oh, yeah, a lot of New Zealanders go and live over there, actually.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, but I felt at home.
You left.
Well, yeah, I had to come home. Luckily, I came home about, 25, 30 years ago before they started deporting us.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah, times have changed. Anyway.
Build a bridge yet?
Anyway, Jayne, we were discussing maybe you would entertain the thought of hopping over the ditch, coming over to New Zealand, spending a bit of time here, and maybe doing a few shows for the Kiwi audiences. Would you consider doing that?
Absolutely, yeah. I'd totally love to come over there. That's definitely been on my bucket list, so hopefully very soon.
You're not old enough to have a bucket list. It's a to-do list.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When you pass, 35, 40, you're starting to look at to-do bucket, and then after 40 to 45, it is a bucket list.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, them's the rules, apparently. Now, Jayne, you've been the entertainer for VIP, for the VIP crowd for Keith Urban. Did you meet Keith?
Yeah. So that was really fun. Basically, we got to perform to all his VIPs every night for 4 nights while we were in Sydney. And while he was in Sydney a few years back, and we got to sit in a corporate box, which was even more fun, and watch the show every night. So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, I'm rather dubious when people brandy those words, corporate box. I feel sorry for the guy that, no, I'm not even going to go there. Oh, that could be dangerous. It really could, especially...
Free drinks, free food, what more could you want?
Yeah, exactly. And believe me, we have, as I said at the start of the show, that we have played your music for a number of years here at Galaxy, including songs like Chick Ute, for instance. Just over the last week or so, Holden has come to its demise.
I know.
Isn't that a shocker?
Crazy. Such a disappointment. It was such an iconic thing here. So, yeah, it's certainly a very sad day.
Absolutely, it really is. But now Ford wins by default, really, doesn't it?
Well, apparently, yeah.
Yeah, that's horrifying. You know who is going to be the big winner?
Yeah, not sure.
Toyota.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, see, my husband and I are into motorbikes, so my head says, Suzuki.
That's cool. Believe me, my head says Harley.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've had a few in my time. I'm totally into motorbikes as well. Over the years, I've done enough damage to know better sometimes, but just can't figure that one out and keep on going anyway. Yeah, I've had a few accidents.
Oh no.
Yeah, believe me.
That's not the way to ride a motorbike.
So the motorbike tells me.
Oh.
Yeah, believe me, when you get in amongst with all your mates and everything, and then suddenly you just get a little stupid, and before you know it, well, you're in a full body cast.
Yeah, not the way to go.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to keep it upright, apparently.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's the secret. Not upside down or on its side, or, yeah, none of that. No sparks involved, literally. Now, having said this, my friend, we were discussing getting you here to New Zealand. And as you know, because you've been here, you were here in the 90s, weren't you?
Yeah, when I was younger, I came over as a backing singer. Yeah, it was fun, but it was very, very fast trip. But I certainly fell in love with New Zealand. I got to see it, had a few days off, so I got to see a little bit of it, but not a lot.
Nice. Well, we also spoke that you have a friend not too far away from here in Whakatane. And
what are the chances?
Yeah, exactly. It's only about 35, 40 minutes away, and believe me, we'll hook that up so that your friend can come along and have a bit of fun with us as well. What do you reckon?
Absolutely. I'm sure she'd love that.
Excellent. So, having said that, you know we're a little crazy. Have you heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
What, sorry?
A hoo-hoo grub.
No.
Okay. Spelled H-U-H-U. It is, well, you know, you're familiar with a caterpillar, right?
Yes, I am, yes.
Okay, well, this is a caterpillar on steroids. It's big, it's white, and what you do is you put the whole body in your mouth, bite off the head. Don't eat the head, it's yucky. But when you crunch down on this, it's like eating creamy peanut butter.
Is this a joke?
No, we do it. It is actually something that the indigenous folks, the Maori, have done. And, well, there's a wild foods festival down the west coast of the south. Really, we just deep fry stuff you shouldn't deep fry down there.
Oh, okay.
But
this is starting to sound like America.
Yeah, well, you know, no guns involved. We don't want to shoot people, and we're not in Germany right now, so we're safe right now. But yes, we do a few things, and as I said, we are a little crazy down here. Are you familiar with Queenstown? Not Queensland, Queenstown.
Yes, Queenstown, no, yes, I am very familiar with Queenstown.
Okay, well, you would know that Shania Twain owns property down there.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, literally. Kevin Costner was down there not so long ago, same with Tom Cruise. Queenstown's the kind of place where the A-listers go to escape all their mates, but take their friends with them.
Oh, wow, I did not know that. There you go.
And we have a little excitement there because we have a thing called bungee jumping.
Yes, I did know that was a very big thing in New Zealand, but I can't say I tried it.
So, well, I tell you what, it would be an honour if you'd let me throw you off a bridge.
Oh, I can't wait.
Nice. And, well, you're a nice Australian, so we will attach the bungee.
Oh, thank you very much. That's so kind of you.
Believe me, sometimes when I'm talking to Americans or Canadians, you know, they say, what about Australians? I says, well, you know, sometimes the bungee does get attached and sometimes, wow, you know, you get wet. It happens.
I love it.
So, having said all of that, now, have you heard of a Zorb?
No.
No? Okay.
I'm not very familiar, am I, with some of your strange ways over there?
Exactly. We're going to culture you and...
oh, thank you.
Well, it's basically Galaxy's shenanigans school of how not to do things and walk away safely anyway. We'll do that.
Right. But you don't have snakes, so I'm all right with that.
Yeah, no, we don't. No, the most dangerous thing around here is actually a daddy longlegs.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's got so much venom in it, but it can't bite people. It won't pierce the skin.
Yes, we have them here too. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our most venomous thing in New Zealand. Besides maybe my mother, she's very. She can be very venomous. We'll take you down. I tell you what, we'll take you down to Queen Charlotte Sound, and believe me, down there is absolutely superb. It's like time forgot, and you can still see dinosaurs walking through there because that's where Mum comes from.
Oh, well, that's incredible. What a place to visit.
Yeah, exactly. We'll drop into Mum's place and have a cup of tea. say g'day. Anyway, we would love to be able to put you in a Zorb. Literally, you're going to have a couple of these, though, before you get in. And you will need a few of them once you get out. I will admit that. But we'll roll you down a hill. And, well, it's like human skittles. We'll get people to run in front of you. Simply because when you've had a few of these, as you run over them, their looks on their faces are priceless.
This sounds very interesting. I must say, I've never heard of it.
Well, I tell you what, after I get in, usually there's a little extra liquid inside there. Well, you just need a hose afterwards, I know. Bit of sanitary stuff. Grant's all good, but it's a lot of fun. Now, having said that, we were talking also about Hobbiton. You were saying you're not too up on the movie thing, but I'm sure you've heard of Lord of the Rings.
I have heard of Lord of the Rings, yes.
Right, well, Middle-earth, Hobbiton was the very, very first one, the very first series, what you see straight away, virtually with the wizard on the cart going into Hobbiton. We are going to go and have a look around the original set. That is a lot of fun.
Oh, I'd love to. Yes, I have had friends that have done that, and they said it's amazing.
It really, really is. And at the same time, you can have a meal, a little bit of, we can have some wine or something like that. Then let's go up to Auckland, go for a meal on the Hauraki Golf, have a bit of wine at night time, take in the ambience. What do you reckon?
Oh, that sounds amazing. Definitely.
Doesn't quite look like the backdrop to Sydney, but we do have a bridge.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not as impressive as yours, but it's a bridge. We don't mind having it in the background. Absolutely. So, do you like shopping?
Oh, definitely like shopping. Yes. Most girls do, I think, don't they?
Yeah, shoes and handbags installed, lipstick, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, absolutely. But Barbara is an Olympic shopper, so believe me, while you're up here, over here in New Zealand, she knows all the good places to go, literally. So we'll take some of that in. Do you like wine?
Definitely, yes. I like wine.
Okay, we can
In fact, New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc is my favourite.
Well, we could go to the home of Sauvignon Blanc and go through the Marlborough and take in a bit of that, or Blenheim and everything down through Nelson Way. Because believe me, they have some absolutely stunning wine down there.
Well, I have to say that when I was in America last time, I wanted to buy my friends a gift, and so I got them New Zealand wine even in America. So there you go. That's how big you guys are around the world with your wine. So yes, and now they all love New Zealand wine.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad we're talking about the stuff we drink, not the stuff the wife gives me. Anyway, let's talk about Grow Up Around Trucks. We absolutely love this song.
Thank you. Yeah, well, that one of my friends was talking about the generations of trucking, and often, obviously, I get to meet a lot of people on the road who are truck drivers and fans on the at shows, come to my shows, and it's very much generation after generation is very common, and so my friend said, I think it would be a great idea to write about that. And so Grew Up Round Trucks came from that conversation. And it's done really well, that song. And also I think it's one of those songs that's weird, like you have little kids that really like it, and then it's even being played at funerals. So it's a great song about trucking families.
I've always wanted to ask this. How do you feel about songs being played at a person's funeral?
Well, I think if it means something to the person, and often that song specifically talks about how they, their father was a truck driver and they were a truck driver or whatever. And I think that the tempo of it and just the style of the song is quite an emotional song. So if it touches them and it means something to the family, it's an honour, really. Yeah.
Absolutely. You see, I was talking to a guy, a number of years ago, by the name of Chris de Burgh, and he brought out a song called Spaceman Comes to Travelling, and apparently he was horrified to find out that people were using it as a death march where they're carrying a coffin down the car. For a long time he was horrified about it until he got his head around it and says, they're listening to it though. And I went, exactly, Chris. Absolutely. Yes. They really, really are.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all about how it is perceived.
Yeah, definitely.
Take the coffin out. What have you got? You've got a waltz.
Yeah.
So believe me. So right here at Galaxy 107 FM, joined by Jayne Denham live as Grew Up Around Trucks. Gosh, it's hot in here, Barbara.
Yes. You can turn that little fan on.
I can turn the little fan on?
Yeah.
Where is he? Mini me.
Under the chair.
He's under the chair, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll turn this little, well, this little fan's been going for a
Yeah.
while, so, yeah, making absolutely...
Well, thank you everyone for joining us.
Yes.
All the important people.
All the important people.
Hi, Cheryl.
Oh, hello, Cheryl. Nice to have you joining us. Cheryl's from the Blue Mariah band.
No, not that Cheryl.
Not that Cheryl.
No.
Wrong Cheryl.
Yeah, Brandon.
Oh,
Lorenzo.
Cheryl Brendan. Okay, sorry.
Hi, Henry.
I thought it was Cheryl Lipstick.
Hi, stained glass.
Got a lot of Cheryls.
We do. We've got a couple of Janes now.
Couple of Janes now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever heard of a band called One Ugly Cowboy?
Oh, where are they from?
They're from
Toronto.
Toronto? Yeah, Toronto. Hurricane Jane.
She knows Clayton Bellamy.
She knows Clayton Bellamy.
Well, the
Yeah,
road
okay.
hammers.
Well, I didn't get a chance to do
Yeah.
all of it, actually. You know Clayton from the Roadhammers.
Oh yeah, I'm the bit like seriously, they're probably one of my favourite bands in the world.
Okay, I see that your influences here are the Roadhammers, Gretchen Wilson, Miranda. Yeah, Miranda's nice. I like Miranda. She's a nice lady.
Yeah, but we know
Yeah,
Clayton
definitely.
really
Their new
well.
album's phenomenal.
It really, really is. And
Yeah.
yeah, I love talking to her. Toby Keith. Yay, I like Toby. He's a nice guy.
Oh, sorry, something just came up on my screen. Yeah, I actually met Toby Keith. It was pretty funny because it was a record label thing, meet and greet.
Yep.
And we were whisked away into this room, and we were put like it had to wait. It was like meeting the Queen or something. It was very bizarre. Anyway, and then they shuffled us through, and everyone, and you had to like shake photo next, shake photo next, shake. That's what it was like. And I thought, oh, stop this. I'm not just doing that. It's embarrassing. So I said, "G'day, Toby. I'm Jayne Denham, and I'm the trucker chick of Australia." And he cracked up laughing. He's like, "That's really cool." And he goes, "Do you write songs about utes?" I said, "As a matter of fact, I do."
Nice.
It was really funny.
Let's go
And
back.
my record label was like, "Oh my God, Jane just stops the whole line."
Let's go back to the desk. Love that. That's a cool story. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and of course we're talking to Jayne Denham. And, well, I love the Stacks, even though we do have the song The Stacks in our list of Jayne Denham artwork that we do play here at Galaxy. We didn't have it up today, but just loving the sound of the Stacks on that truck as it ends that track. Absolutely brilliant. Now,
Thank you.
Jayne, I see that your influences here, and this is rather amusing, the Roadhammers. Now, Clayton is a very, very old friend of ours. We've known Clayton now for a long, long time. And I don't know whether you're familiar with this, with the Roadhammers track, Mud.
Yes, I love that song.
Okay,
One of my favourites.
you know the American flag pants that Clayton had on?
Yeah, in the video.
Yeah, I've been trying to get his pants off him for years.
Oh.
He keeps threatening he's going to send them to me, and I keep threatening him, saying I'm going to fill them. But believe me, no, we are very,
That's a
very.
great video too.
It really, really is. At the same time, and I'm going to maybe ask this of you later on down the track, but at the same time, he did a voiceover for us here at Galaxy. Now, well, I want you to understand this one. He goes, "Hi, this is Clayton Bellamy from the Roadhammers. I don't know how I found myself in your bedroom, but thank you for listening to Galaxy 107 FM.
You could play it.
We play it all the time. We really, really do. Having said that, now you're about to start going into the to the winter period, much like us here. I think things are starting to look like they're going to cool down sometime over the next couple of months. Are you looking to go back to doing writing and bringing out maybe another album?
Yeah, so I've got a new single coming out in May. 1st of May it's going to be released. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. It's a song where I'm collaborating with 2 other artists. I can't reveal that yet, but it's a really fun song. And then I'm going to be releasing a compilation album probably at the end of the year of all my trucking songs. And add a few new songs, and then next year I'll hopefully be releasing a new album.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, I'm hoping that you won't forget us. You'll send us a copy.
Absolutely, I sure will.
Now
I know where you are and have your details. Be very afraid.
Believe me, bring it on. All right, gotcha. Believe me, we would absolutely love to be able to promote you more and more and more as we go through and follow your career, because believe me, Jayne, I think you have got an absolutely killer sound and show. Everything.
Thank you so much.
You've got it all hooked up. Now let's make it work. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thank you. It means a lot.
Now, at the same time, if you're going to be releasing a new CD or something like that, how would you like to send us a few copies? We'll do a Jayne Denham giveaway, a competition here.
Sure. Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Awesome. And, well, at the same time, if you got T-shirts, well, today, Chris Andreas, coming out of Canada. Yes.
Oh, I love it.
You know,
I thought that was a pretty cool shirt.
Yes, and believe me, people do go and have a look.
No, that's Tommy Steele's.
It's Tommy Steele. I thought it was Chris Andreas.
No, he's watching.
Sorry, Tommy. Okay, Tommy Steele coming out of Nashville. Gosh,
And
I
you've
thought it was
got your
Chris
glasses
Andreas.
on too, for goodness
Yeah.
sake.
Anyway, as I was explaining, people do go and have a look, and before you know it, another 5,000 Instagram mates coming down the line at you because they want to know. And, well, we were talking about your website. Now, on your website, do you have a merch store?
What, sorry?
A merchandise store?
Oh, yes, I sure do. Yeah, we sell all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And I even have toy model trucks, because I have three trucks in Australia with my face on the side. And so over the years, we've created like little model trucks that we sell at the merchandise. So it's pretty funny. I think I've sold more trucks than I have albums. But
Lovely. But I tell you what, how would you like to send us a few? Give us a swag bag that we can do a competition, a decent competition, and keep.
Sure.
You know, Jayne Denham rolling here at Galaxy, because believe me, you are the flavour of the day. You really are. People are absolutely loving your music. Now, at the same time, we were talking about, of course, your influences, Gretchen Wilson, Miranda Lambert, love Miranda, really do. Toby Keith, Travis Sinclair, and Keith Urban. Now, I hate to tell you this, but, you know, Keith was born in New Zealand.
Yes, I know that. Yeah, I did know that. And I mean, we always seem to claim him, but we're actually, doing you a disgrace. You know, it's not very good that we're not remembering you New Zealanders.
Exactly. Now, when I talk to Keith next, I am going to give him absolutely the pavlova and tell him, you know, get it right, bro. You know, it's okay. Your wife is Australian. We get it. You come from another island just off to the, you know. Come on. Be honest.
Exactly. Get with the program, Keith.
Exactly. But Keith, love Keith, absolutely do. And we've had a few yarns over the years as well. So believe me, it's been an absolute pleasure. But I still have to remind them, you know, Australians, you know, they didn't like our horse at the end of the day anyway. So they really did. Yeah, you know. It happens, it does.
It does, it happens.
It really does. Now, I want to ask you the 5 questions from the 50 Shades of Grant. Are you up for it?
No, here we
The
go.
50 Shades of Grant, all right.
Yeah, believe me, there's about 50, you know, well, a couple of hundred questions really, but, you know, we'll do it 5. And believe me, every time I say this, all the staff around me right now just go, oh, Grant, okay, let's try this. Now, your Prime Minister is Morrison, have I got it right?
Yes.
And ours, of course, is Jacinda Ardern. Over in the UK, we have Boris Johnson, good old Borry. And, well, in America, there's, of course, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Which is the odd one out?
Oh, gee, that's a bit, I don't know. Is this a gag?
Well, you know, it comes down to colour and the impeachment of.
I think he's got a bad haircut, just quietly.
Well, no, that's not a bad haircut. That's something living there.
Yeah, true, that's true.
I just wonder. Yeah, I wonder if it's got its own room in the, you know, in the White House. Literally, what do they feed it? What do you feed that thing, Mr. Trump? Anyway, at the same time, of course, all the rest of politicians, he's a caretaker.
Oh, okay, I get it.
You get it,
nice
you get it.
One.
Yeah.
I get it, that's good. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Nice, thank you. And I'm actually giving Morrison a bit of credit by calling him a politician. Pat on the back for Grant, because that's a first. I really don't actually give Mr. Morrison too much credit for anything. He's got no clue.
No, be good, behave.
But what politician does? Anyway, having said that, are you familiar, Jane, with James Bond?
Oh, very much so. That's my husband's favourite movies.
Okay, well, just today...
Not that I'm very good at trivia, though, by the way.
Okay, well, with, of course, Daniel Craig making the last of his series now,
Yes.
he broke his ankle and was down for about 12 weeks. Literally, they had to postpone everything for 12 weeks. That gave the management, stupid thing to do, Daniel, time to think and get together, have a board meeting with all the fundraisers and all sorts of things that work into the management of James Bond franchise, and they come up with the idea, we're going to make James Bond a female. To the world's disgust. Literally, the world just went, no, don't do that. Good to have money, Penny, but don't do that. So
Yeah.
now they've compromised. They've gone from He-Man to gay.
What?
The next James Bond is going to be called, guess what? 07.
Oh, my goodness.
Not 00. 07. Well, actually, the truth today, would you believe, is we're going to have a very first black James Bond. No,
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I don't know if you're telling the truth or making this up.
Today, if you go to your news and have a look, yes,
is on the
it was
news
announced that
today,
there is going to be a black James Bond for the very first time.
Who's going to be?
I don't know.
That's true.
But the last time they had a decent
Sid
black
Laban.
person on James Bond, of course, was Felix, way back in the day when Sean Connery was on it.
He wasn't black.
Yeah, Felix was the very first original
Oh,
Felix.
Felix. So I thought you said, anyway.
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
Sean Connery was a truck driver.
Sean Connery's my hero.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he's Welsh, not English.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his parents came from Wales. Well, his mother did. I just don't know where his father came from. Anyway, tell me about Rockin' with Ned. Now, Ned sounds like a dude I want to know.
Well, Rocket with Ned came about because I got sponsored by a shipping container company, a trucking company that called Scuzz Trans. Anyway, they had a truck called Ned Kelly Truck, and we decided to go on tour. And what we did is we took the truck on tour around Australia, and we wanted to start the show, because what happened was if you came to the show, you got to go in the draw to win a ride in an Ed Kelly truck. It's actually burnt down, sadly, a couple of years ago, so it doesn't exist anymore. But we wrote the song purely just to start the show. And actually, it's become one of the most popular songs on my Spotify and Apple Music, which is kind of really bizarre because it was never meant to be a single or anything. It was just written about us being on the road with the Ned Kelly truck. So, but the lyrics are fun. I actually wrote that with some truck drivers. I sat down and and got ideas of what they would say and how they'd say it, and then we put that into a song. So I think that's why it seems to resonate with people.
You know, arguably, Ned Kelly being the very first to use body armour in the world as a criminal, which I thought was very, strange what you could do with a bucket back then. Yeah, absolutely. So, love Ned, really, really do. So,
Thank you.
let's go with Jayne Denham and Rockin' with Ned. You're right here at Galaxy. But nobody's getting away from the 5 questions. We've still got 3 to go. How are we going there? You feeling okay?
Great.
By the way, I'm loving the choker.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Bit of fun.
Yeah, a little bit of the sparkle every now and again. Blang,
Yeah.
blah, blang.
You're funny.
Yeah, that's what my wife says. Even my mirror does that, but the only thing that gets turned on in the shower is the shower.
I don't know.
It's true.
You should have your own show. Oh, wait, you do.
Yeah, oh, funny.
She's going to interview you.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they actually paid me for this job, though. Oh, dear. So we got black coffee coming up next.
Cool. Sounds good.
Now, I have a whole host of your credentials, just too many to talk about. I really, really do. But I've got to be honest with you, Jayne. Much respect.
Oh, thank you very much, Grant. That means a lot. It's certainly been a long 14 years. It's like, if people are like, oh, you knew. No, been doing this for a long time.
Don't worry, you don't look a day over 12.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know,
40
screens
years.
will do that for you.
Yeah. That's why I got the job. You know Darth Vader, right?
Yes.
You know his wandy thing that he fights Luke Skywalker with? You know that? Yeah.
Your lightsaber.
Yeah, that's what Barbara's got. It's a hard hat area. Literally, she's waving this. You got to duck sometimes. You know what I mean? If Osh only knew. Health and safety, my God. She's dangerous with it. She really, really
I'm
is.
not that close.
I love it.
But we will convert this over from those of you that are watching right now, a little later down the track. We'll convert it over, give you a copy of that, so that, well, most people, when they receive the copy of the interview, they bin it straight away. They don't want to live it again. They don't want to torture
Embedded
themselves.
in our memories forever.
But I tell you what, I have had actually couples that have done interviews with us sit there, watch it 5, 7 times.
They
It's
have.
like, you guys are sad.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Hang
Yeah.
on, move up here.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, that's why.
Okay. Well, let me know when that bit happens. Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Glad you guys are hanging in there with me, because believe me, I am absolutely elated to be joined by Jayne Denham coming out of Sydney, Australia, and love to have a bit of Aussie accent on the program every now and again. So this is an absolute pleasure for me. Having said that, Jayne, we're still about halfway through the 5 questions of the 50 Shades of Grant, so don't think you've ducked it too much, too quickly. Question number 3. Have you ever had vegan sausages?
No, can't say I have.
Okay, are they made of real vegans? That's like the Girl Guide biscuits, isn't it?
I love it, that's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. Do you still get Girl Guide biscuits over there?
No.
No. Yeah, when I found out they weren't made of real Girl Guides, I stopped eating them. Like Johnson's baby oil, not really made of babies. Which is, well, reducing down, who would know. But question number 4. Now, here in New Zealand, we're on the precipice. Now, I know some parts of Australia have already done this, of granting legal medical marijuana. What's your view about it? Do you think we should do that?
Well, I think it's been one of those controversial things for such a long time, but I really think it's the benefits for the oil and stuff they're talking about now. I've got I know a lot of people that are getting a lot of benefits from it, so I'm like, bring it on, baby.
Yeah,
I know if I was not well and that's a natural solution, I'd certainly.
Exactly. You go for what you can get as much as possible if you're in any kind of pain, don't you? You absolutely do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's when I saw a documentary on it on the ABC here. We were just like, that's just amazing. And I mean, it's a God-given plant.
It is, and that's what has the pharmaceutical companies worried, because they can't reproduce that.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Not without being horticulturalists anyway. But and I'm glad you mentioned the oil there, Jane, because I was walking down the street the other day and a little old man come riding up to me in one of those little sidewalk surfers, complete with the flag, was even purple.
Yep.
It was purple actually. And he comes waving, as I'm going down the road, he goes, Grant, I've heard that marijuana oil's good for your joints. I went, really? Good for your joints. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Darling little old man. He really has a sense of humour. He really, really does. Yeah. But I don't think he quite understood what he was saying to me at the time. I know the guys. I know the guys across the grass in the pub was listening at the same time, and they were all cracking up, going, "Yeah, bro, it is."
Yeah, that's it. Correct.
Absolutely. And last question. Now, this is an interesting question, actually, because it's all part of the referendum that we're going through right now. Of course, we're doing the marijuana referendum, and we're doing another one. At the same time, I don't know why we're paying our politicians if they can't make a decision. Come on. Marijuana, it's a no-brainer. If it's for medical reasons, yes, go ahead, make it available. It's like breast cancer pills. We need to be able to look after our women and give them every opportunity to be able to combat that horrible, horrible disease. So yes, we need a bit of funding. We need a bit of availability of that. So make a decision, politicians. Don't sit back and get paid for us to do your job. The second referendum question, literally, and this one's quite a heavy one, is do you think that we should legalise euthanasia?
Oh, well, God, that's way off my understanding. I'll leave that one alone.
Well, I tell you what, Jane, brave people do attack that, but I've got to be honest with you. I think it should be available on its own merits to the patient concerned.
Yeah.
I think we're putting people through too much pain, keeping them alive for what? They're going to die anyway, aren't they? If they, in sound mind, wish to be able to do this, maybe their body is going, I don't see any harm in that. Do you?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think these days, the doctors do give you that choice anyway. More than they don't call it euthanasia, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Out the back room with a hammer, bang, you're okay. Me personally, I want to go in my sleep like my grandfather did, unlike the passengers in his car at the time that were screaming.
What? What was that?
I said I want to go in my sleep like my grandfather did, unlike the passengers in his car at the time.
Oh, no.
Peacefully.
Oh, dear.
Peacefully. Peacefully. I don't want to be clawing the top of the car at the same time, going over the cliff. Hey, no worries. Anyway, Jayne, we have come to what I think is the absolute pinnacle of the show right now, and I want to talk to you about ice road truckers.
Yes.
How did you get involved with that?
Well, I was doing a show over in Dallas, Texas for the the Great American Trucking Show, GATS. And I got to meet Lisa Kelly and Carrie Hall and a few other people. And the manager came up to me and said, "Oh, if you ever want them in a video, let us know. You know, they'd love to be." Because I knew Lisa really liked my music, and over in America in the trucking world, obviously my trucking songs are popular. So anyway, and then the new album came out, Calamity, and they called me up and said, "Would you like me to ask the guys if they want to be in the video clip for Black Coffee and White Lines?" So it was really a huge honour to head up to Alaska at the end of last year and record the brand new video clip. Yeah, it was crazy. It was awesome.
Did you go out on one of Paula's trucks, for instance?
Sorry, what was that?
Did you manage to get a ride on one of Paula's trucks? Did you go across the ice?
No, I didn't. It wasn't actually cold enough at that time when we were there, but there was certainly some snow, and it was still, there was ice on the ground everywhere. You don't throw snow over there because they're like throwing a rock at someone. It was a whole different understanding of cold. I've never felt cold like that in my life.
Yeah, believe me, I've been.
And it wasn't even winter.
Believe me, I've been in parts of Canada, and I know exactly what you're saying. I really do.
But we had a really great time, and I got to film my parts. I'm singing with a glacier behind me, which was pretty cool.
Nice. Now, is Lisa Kelly the darling that we believe she is?
Oh yeah, and she is the most funniest person. Like, the more I got to know her, she's a real joker. She likes to pull like crazy fun things and surprise you, and she's just so much fun, and we've become really good mates. So she really is the real deal who she is.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, next time you speak to her, give her a punt for me, won't you? Tell her to hook us up. Let's have a chat.
All right, I will.
Nice. But tell her he's a Kiwi. Be afraid.
Be very afraid.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi. He is. So that brings us, of course, to Black Coffee and White Lines. Now, this is your most requested song here at Galaxy at the moment. 1,803 requests, would you believe, have been since we started playing this particular track. So,
thank you, everyone. That means so much.
We want the background story. Tell us all about it.
So I wrote this song with Jerry Salley in Nashville. He's a Grammy-nominated songwriter, multiple number ones with his songs, and because obviously going to Nashville, there's a lot of songwriters, but I've got to find the right people that understand about writing trucking songs. If that particular project is, obviously not all my songs are trucking songs, but Jerry Salley really understood trucking music, and so we wrote that song together and just wanted to make it what it is, a celebration of truck drivers and the life that they lead. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is, a salute to drivers, and I think that's where Jay Denham nailed the video clip, because it really is about them, and I'm just the one singing a song. Yeah.
Well, you know something? I think our listeners, our supporters, our fans, if you want to put it like that, have identified with Black Coffee and White Lines. You're right here at Galaxy. Here's Jayne Denham. We're going to change that. How you feeling?
Great.
Nice.
Great
Nice.
fun. Good fun.
Yeah, you won't want to do it again, will you?
Hi, Miss Kelly. Hi, Robert.
Like I said, I used to be a hairdresser.
Hi, John Forster.
Nice, nice. Well, as I said, this is not the 12 rigid questions that you get at, Australia 1 or something like that. I'm just going to ask you, would you like to come back again with some new music? Let's promote you further in the future. Would you do that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Nice.
100%. Yeah, well, the
Nice.
new song will be out in May, so.
Awesome. Well, let's keep in touch with Barbara, and
Absolutely, yeah.
she'll book you in for sure. And feel lucky. There's only been a handful of Australians that's been interviewed since we've been doing this.
Does she know Brooke
Oh.
Chevelle?
Do you know
great.
Do you know Brooke Chevelle?
Yes.
Oh, he's a good friend of ours.
We've
Oh,
interviewed
she's lovely, yeah. I don't know her very well, but I know who she is. And
Okay.
I know
No,
her-
he.
Yeah.
It's
It's a he.
actually, it's
It's a
actually a
he.
he.
Oh, there's another girl called Brooke Chevelle
No.
I think, on the Gold Coast.
Oh, okay.
He's on the
Okay.
Gold Coast.
Yeah, well, he's
but
on the Gold Coast
he's
as
a
well.
he. But he's a he.
But he's a he.
Oh.
I tell
Maybe
you,
I don't-
I'll tell you a story.
Maybe I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Did he do a duet? Did he do a duet with another girl just recently?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his
Oh,
girlfriend.
that's where I'm getting confused.
His
Okay, what's her
girlfriend.
name?
Don't know, I can't remember.
Can't remember
That's
now.
his girlfriend.
But that is his girlfriend.
Oh, it's a great
Was it Shannon?
song. That's a killer song.
Something
Shannon?
Like,
Something like that?
Something like that.
That's because that's the first time I'd heard of him. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So is he from New Zealand?
No,
No, he's from the Outbacks.
no, he's from
Oh,
Queensland.
no, I've never met him. I
he
just
was
heard.
brought
Oh, I
up a
thought
little
Oh
it was
bit,
a
yeah,
girl.
he's
Isn't
from,
that
he
funny?
lives in
But
Queensland.
I knew,
Brisbane, I think.
yeah, I knew there was. I mean, I've seen the video, so I don't know why. I thought. Anyway,
And
I've
how's
got
England
confused.
today?
Yeah, no worries. It's okay. I will let him know
Yeah, I
that
love
he's.
that song. I reckon that's one of the best songs she's done too.
I tell you what. I'll let him know that he needs to wear more lipstick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, put on a little bit more lippy. Brooke, if you're watching, a little bit more lippy, black hat,
I've
you'll be
never
right.
actually met him. I've heard of him.
Nice guy, very, very nice guy. And believe me, I think a very, very talented man in his own right when it comes to country music, much like your flavour, actually.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check him out. Like
Yeah,
I said, that's
yeah.
the only song I've heard. So
Nice. And he does know how to spell beer. It starts with 4 X's.
oh gosh.
So you were saying. Let's go back to the desk.
Stay safe on the roads.
The Women's Cycling Association salutes women behind the wheel. Yeah!
Thanks for all you do.
Galaxy, Galaxy FM.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 10 after 12. Yeah, I know I've gone over time. 10 after 12 o'clock, and it's 28 degrees. I think 30 degrees is quite reasonable actually today, Friday, February 21st. And I want to thank everybody that's been following us this morning with Jayne Denham coming out of Sydney, Australia. Thank you guys on Facebook Live, and join us again. Jayne, don't go anywhere just yet, but thank you so much for joining us and spending some time with a Kiwi.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show, Grant.
And will you come back again? Will you release new music?
Absolutely. I look forward to sending you my new single in May. So.
Nice, nice. And please send us a few copies of bits and pieces. We would love to do a giveaway. Keep Jayne Denham rolling here at Galaxy.
Sure.
Having said that, next time you're near a good recordable 58, how would you like to do a couple of stingers for us? You know, hi, this is Jayne Denham on Galaxy.
Yeah, no problem.
Brilliant, brilliant. And Barbara won't send you any scripts or anything like that because she sees, she did it for so long that they all started to sound the same. Now we just say, get creative. Jayne Denham.
Nice. That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, Jayne Denham, Galaxy 107 FM. Those are in there. Everything else is, well, as you know about Clayton Bellamy, for instance, I'm in somebody's bedroom.
Yeah.
We
So
should
yeah,
play it.
absolutely love that. Hang in there, Jayne. We're going to do a couple of little videos and some funny photos, stuff like that. And at the same time, we'll give you copies of the backstage photos that people would never see, showing, well, maybe even Barbara while she's waving that wandy thing around at me. So you get all of that. We will give you some instructional videos like the hoo-hoo grub, just to show you I'm not joking. We actually do
I,
this.
I do believe you now.
You got to wonder about the person that's given you a bowl of these wiggly things. What are you thinking, mate? Really, but I've done it so many times now, I'm actually getting a taste for them, really. We will also give you the Zorb and all sorts of instructional videos to go with what we say that we're going to do, because we can back it up. We do it. We are all about that. Having a bit of fun, putting on a show, entertaining people, including our stars. It's not all work, bit of play, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we
Totally.
we get to introduce you to what we think is an absolutely wonderful country where we can actually claim back the West Island.
Well, it's lovely to be in New Zealand on radio. This is my first live interview, so there you go.
It wasn't that hard, was it?
No, it's just like riding a bike.
But I got to be honest with you, you've been too polite to me. You haven't given me any stick at all. So I'm going to leave you with this one. And last April, do you get into April Fools?
No, I can't say I do. I did when I was a kid.
Well,
all the time. I used to go do terrible things at work.
Well, I tell you what, last April we found out for sure, absolutely for real, well actually it was a few days before April 1st came around, that the island Tasmania is actually connected on the New Zealand intercontinental shelf.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I rang up your Prime Minister, Mr Morrison, and I says, we would like back our back taxes, it belongs to New Zealand. You know, he won't take my calls from now on.
I don't know why.
Yeah, come on. So this year I'm threatening him, I'm going to get the Navy in to tow it back.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's much like having a lighthouse on Rangitoto Island. Doesn't happen. We don't have one. Whakatane, your friend in Whakatane, I'm just wondering if she informed you about the volcano that we have just off Whakatane that erupted not so long ago.
Yes.
21 people did not survive that, and a good part of that was Australian. So our condolences to everybody that had anything to do with that. Believe me, we absolutely were horrified. And as I say, depending on which way the wind was blowing, we could have got it this way too, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, wow.
we're that close. So when we bring you here to New Zealand, let's go to Whakatane, let's hook up with your friend, and, well, I don't know, let's go and have a barbecue on White Island.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
No,
Well,
thanks.
at the same time, we might be able to rescue some of the goats on there.
They don't have any.
They don't have any goats on
No.
White Island. I know they don't have any goats on
No.
White Island, but, you know, again, one April Fool's Day, we asked for the local boaties out in Whakatane to go over to White Island and rescue the boats, because there might be an eruption, and we got 35 captains call us saying, when do you want to go? So us New Zealanders can laugh at ourselves as well. We really, really do. Yeah, there is no life on there except the big bubbly thing, and it's all sulphur anyway. You know what I mean? So, but 35 captains go, when do you want to go? Anytime now. Just head off without me. I'll meet you when you get back.
I love it.
Yeah, true. Jayne Denham, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
here at
you.
Galaxy.
My pleasure, Grant. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And thanks for organising it all over there, Barbara. You did a great job.
Awesome,
Thank you.
awesome. See you again very soon. Don't go anywhere. In the meantime, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Yes, Air Supply. Goodbye.